All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Canadian Cloud Community Hands-on Hour. Today we have a very, very special guest. Not, it's a gift as well. So both would work. So for me, like Sébastien Levert is here. He's like one of the best, if not like the best guy, when it comes to Microsoft 365 development. Right now, Sébastien is at Microsoft. So he's a principal PM architect for Copilot agents and platform and whatever you can think about when it comes to development in the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So Sebastian, would you like to give us a little bit of introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Seb. I'm a PM architect on the Copilot Extensibility team here at Microsoft. I've been in the M365 dev space for probably too long now, probably for the last 20 years from early days of SharePoint to Copilot. So that's what I've been doing in the past. I've been mainly into the consulting space. I've been an MVP in the past, and then I joined Microsoft, the dark side. Um, and now I'm enjoying building all these tools for all devs to be successful with Copilot Extensibility.
Yep. So Sebastian for me is like Cloud Code before they invent Cloud Code, right? It's like something similar to that, let's say. So, yep, Sebastian, I'm gonna leave it all for you. So the floor is yours. Take it away.
Excellent. Let me put that in full screen. Let me start the sharing of my screen here. And now let's do that.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well, folks, um, today the topic is building wicked things using the WorkIQ dev tools. Um, it's actually pretty interesting how these things turned out that I can present to you today. Why did I say that? Is initially when I was chatting with Mohammed on when we should be able to do this session, it was like, we're going to come up with a new tool somewhere during the summer. Let's arrange ourselves. We had to move things around a little bit because it was not yet available. So we could not disclose it just yet. But still, the name of the session was still there. So you guys got a glimpse of the future when you registered for this webinar, which is, I think, really, really cool. So today we're going to introduce and talk about the WorkIQ developer tooling, which is our agentic experience for Microsoft 365 Copilot. We call it internally, and you're going to see it also in the future, we call it WIQD, W-I-Q-D, for WorkIQ Dev. And why is we believe that the WorkIQ dev tooling that we're building is the perfect complement to the WorkIQ product, where you can use any of these things and basically enhance the experience you're getting into WorkIQ. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to build stuff together. We're going to use a little bit of GitHub Copilot. We're going to look into some experiences we have there, and we're going to see how we can ship something of quality. But before we move on, let's start with the formal presentation. I'm Sam. I'm leading that tool that we're talking about today. That is a team of pretty big team that is actually working on the dev tools today. And my main focus is on the end-to-end experience. We've been building some tools in the past that were helping you build or helping you debug, but we didn't really have an end-to-end experience for any of these tools, and that's what we're coming with WorkIQ Dev Tools. Um, Last week when we announced the availability of WIQD, um, I also shared on LinkedIn an image. I'm going to show it to you. Um, that was what my I don't know if you've seen on LinkedIn. Everybody has been sharing their WorkIQ prompt and their WorkIQ image on what is their role and what they do in their organization. And I could not post it. And the reason why I could not post it is, well, everything was about WIQD and everything was about the WorkIQ Dev tool because I was so much ingrained into that. So in the end, that's how it turned out. So that is my life at Microsoft. But it was all about Wicked. So I could not actually share that prompt before we actually get into our public preview for Wicked. So it was fun. So basically, at a glimpse, that's really me, how we're how I'm thinking and how I'm building all these tools. So that's pretty cool. Now let me go on and kind of talk about what's the opportunity, right? So think about how Copilot has been for a long time, a great tool that people have been using to build and kind of discover AI use cases. People have been using Copilot Chat. Now people have started to use Copilot Cowork. So we want to be able to do more than just using the tool. We want to be able to customize it, to extend it, to really, really shape your business processes within Copilot. We want you to use Copilot as your productivity platform. So we believe that there's a real use case into extending the assistant that you're using every day. And that is through, for a long time, that has been through agents. We have had Agent Builder that has been sitting in the Copilot experience for a very long time. For any pro code developers, you might have done some custom engine agents. You might even have done some declarative agents using the agents toolkit. So all of these things that are being made available to you as a user of Copilot allows you to not just customize it for your own needs, to extend it for your own needs, but also to grow this audience to your team, your organization, or even the entire company. And you can really bring your own skills, your own data, the things you can do in your line of business systems directly there so it can be surfaced to the right persons. And think about it. We've just announced in our latest earnings that there are now 30 million paid customer for M365 Copilot. So we really believe that the opportunity is there. If you're building for your own organization, take advantage of it. But if you're building for a lot of organization, or you might be a system integrator and you're working for multiple customers, think about how you can really improve the Copilot experience by extending it. How do we extend it? Well, we can extend it through agents. And that has been kind of the extensibility model we've had for a very long time. Those are purpose-built assistants where you can create your own instructions. You can connect it to your own knowledge sources to let M365 Copilot do its own, call it RAG, retrieval augmented generation on top of its current knowledge. But also something that is really, really interesting is when you go outside of just instructions and knowledge and start thinking about actions, reaching out both in read and in writes to external systems, either through regular APIs that are described using an open API description, or now it's a lot more popular these days using MCP servers. So if you have an MCP server that exposes some capabilities, now Copilot can tap into that MCP server natively and now extend its capability with what the tools of that MCP server offer. Now for the last couple of months also, we have started to hear about plugins. Plugins are kind of the industry standard way of representing AI extensions. What are they? First, they are skills. Everybody is freaking out about skills. Skills is the best thing AI has brought to the end user. Why? Because it's super simple to bring value to end users by just having them describe the flow, the thing they want to build, and then AI just runs it. It's really, really cool. So now people have been starting to share these skills. So now if you have been using Cowork, maybe you have created skills, maybe you have shared skills with people into your organization, SharePoint has the same type of concept native into the experience. We can also extend these plugins with connectors and MCP servers. So these are ways to basically package a set of skills, a set of MCP servers together to make sure that they represent a unit of extensibility for AI. So think about, I build a skill that allows me to do invoicing with my line of business system that has an MCP server that surfaces all of the tools and the capabilities that the system can do. Now, one or multiple skills can connect to that MCP server, work together, make it the best experience you can think of. So now what is really cool is that you have the opportunity to build once and spans all the Copilot surfaces. Think about chat, co-work, Scout, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams. All of that is now taking a dependency on plugins and agents natively into the experience. So we really believe that there's a huge opportunity for you to come and extend Copilot. And for that, we're really pushing to make it AI first, agentic first, to really lower the bar of what can be done and what needs to be known to create agents. And that's where we're coming with Wicked. So first, think about that there are hundreds of millions of seats of M365 Copilot today. The starter license of Copilot actually applies to anybody that has an M365 license. And you can build agents that are specific to them. You don't need to have the full-on Copilot license to actually do any of that. For some of these capabilities, you can just use the regular Copilot chat that is not grounded in your organization data, but still can reach out to MCP servers and skills. So that is really, really, really powerful. And now every tenant, including yours, becomes a landing spot. So the opportunity is really, really good. And that's really what partners are telling us. Partners are telling us that it's really useful now that Copilot is the way to extend any type of business processes that it's available to so many users. But the issue, the pain that we've had for such a long time is that this journey was a real maze. And it's all because of us. You know how Microsoft is. Microsoft is a big shop. There are thousands of portals, thousands of builder tools that are kind of scattered across the entire landscape. So we wanted to really remove even though I love a good maze sometimes, we didn't want that to be the way to actually access and customize the platform. So we decided to remove the fight, lower the bar, make sure that you have access to a great experience. And that experience is now Wicked. So it's really, really, really simple. How do you actually get access to Wicked? It's one command. It's this one here on a Mac, this one here on Windows, and that's it. It installs a couple of components directly onto your machine. That is a local tool that you run locally on your machine, similar to how you would install any other plugin from any other vendor. And these will provide intelligence to your coding assistant. So if you're using GitHub Copilot, either in VS Code, in the GitHub app, into the Copilot CLI, or maybe you're using other agentic experiences to build your things, everything works. It's all there by default. You sign in once to your tenant, and the rest is basically up to you. It allows you to build, to validate that what you built will actually work into production, allows you to ship, to grow also your agent afterwards without ever leaving that same interface. So one tool to cover all the different scenarios. So basically think about how you start with creating an agent, and then you spin. You're going to configure your agent. You're going to add capabilities, or you're going to configure your plugin. You're going to configure your skills. You're going to validate. You're going to provision to test. You're going to package it. You're going to share it with a colleague. You're going to be able to ask your agent or plugin to respond, see how the agent responds, and automate some of the hill climbing into quality using our eval platform. Then you will be able to publish to your tenant admin, to your Copilot admin if you're internal, but also publish to Partner Center to be part of our public store that has everything available for you to go and start having the biggest reach you can think of. And then afterwards, once it's in market, the best thing you can do is now monitor this agent. What are people saying about my agent? How many thumbs up? How many thumbs down? How many users are actually using my agent? All of that through a single experience. That is this one flow. So let me close this. Let me close this for a second and let me go here. And now I'm happy to see this. And then we go back up. And let me open up a Copilot window and let me show you some things that are really cool with Wicked. So here I am. I'm in Copilot. I'm going to do it in Copilot. You can do it in any agentic experience. Also, you can do it without Copilot. And I want to make it clear that you don't have to use an agentic experience. We do ship as part of Wicked a full CLI, and the CLI allows you to basically do everything. It allows you to create agents, evaluate agents, provision agents, anything as part of that CLI. So think about this in a way where you want to be able to potentially do that to start, update your agents, and then use all these CLI commands to do continuous integration, continuous deployment of that, continuous monitoring of this. All of that is built into the CLI. The agentic experience that we have right in Copilot is basically just a plus experience where we know about all of these commands and we orchestrate all of that for you. That means you don't need to know the commands. That means you don't need to know what are the capabilities that are available into a declarative agent. Actually, even today, I don't even remember everything that a declarative agent does. Why? Because there's too many things that it does, and I just forgot about half of them. So in this case, based on my use case, it's going to know. So let's say we do that. I'm presenting a webinar, and I want to build a Copilot extension. I want this to be an agent that helps with understanding Wicked, and I'm gonna do the WorkIQ Dev Tools, and I want that to be grounded on our latest announcement and in our repo. And just to give it a little bit of a hint, let me copy here. I'm going to add this link right there. That is our announcement. And I'm going to also add our repo, which is available here, which is github.com/Microsoft/Wicked. That is our repo. I was just released last week. And I'm going to do that here, and I'm just going to paste it here. I also, well, whatever. That's the best part of AI, by the way. Typos, best part of AI. I cannot write anymore. It's as simple as that. I also want this to always be funny when you answer and respect the Wicked theme of our tooling. Because you'll see some references to Wicked, the musical, in some of the things that we do, which we find pretty awesome. So that's it. That's going to do everything I need. And we're just going to let it go. We're not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at the paint dry. What is great is now it automatically detected, hey, wait a second. You have Wicked installed. So I'm going to start using the skill for Wicked. And I'm going to start understanding everything. How do I make sure I have everything available? What's the version that is available for Wicked? Wicked is built on a ton of other experiences we have in our team. One of them being this one, which is ATK, or the Agents Toolkit, which is our pro dev offering for building capabilities. It's also built on top of WorkIQ, if you've ever heard of WorkIQ, which is basically the intelligence into your stuff. It's all great. It's also sitting on top of our M365 Copilot Eval CLI. Our Eval CLI allows you to have high quality evaluation, and we're automatically evaluating if the responses coming back are great. And it's also sitting on top of the Insights agent. We have a new agent that got shipped to Copilot, which helps you understand the quality, the usage, the trends of your agents. So let's go with that. It asked me, I need more info. So let's go with the Wicked Wizard, the www. I'm going to put it in my temp. I want web search, and I want very, very heavy humor intensity here. And then just going to go on. So I'm going to let it go. It should not ask me any more question. And in the next couple of seconds, we're going to be able to go back to this. What is great when you run into the agentic experience, it's going to figure out everything for you. It's going to fetch the file. It's going to understand the context. It's going to really improve the quality of the agent that you're doing. So let me go back here. Let me go back to our slides while this happens so we can go in the end check into that. What is great with the experience we're building is we're not making this just an editor experience. And the reason why we're not making this just an editor experience is we believe that software development is shifting massively towards agentic experiences. If you want to have your agentic experiences inside VS Code or inside JetBrains or anywhere else, all fine. That's not an issue. But you're going to get an agentic experience as part of it. So we think that what will deliver the highest value will be stay in the chat, talk with the agent, talk with the building tool that you're using. And if you want to have more precision, you want to have repeated scripts, then we ask you go and drop to the terminal. Terminal being where you will be able to do Wicked Agent create, Wicked Agent validate, Wicked Agent provision already there. So as part of the capabilities, we're shipping a plugin that is a set of skills that allows you to have that agentic experience. We're also shipping a language server that allows the either you, the user, or the agentic experience to know when it makes mistakes. So think about it. When we're writing, I don't know, a declarative agent, it's a JSON file with a ton of knobs, like a ton of settings you can do. Sometimes the AI will try something, will invent something that is not really valid. We want to catch it as soon as possible. So we don't want you to spend tokens just for the sake of spending tokens. The language server will automatically tell the agentic experience, oh yeah, by the way, you made a mistake on that line. And it's just going to correct itself rather than doing the full walk through, go deploy, and then learn about it when you're actually trying the thing. And all of that is available today. Something we believe strongly with developer tooling is that quality is your target. We want to make sure you get high fidelity, high quality agents from the get-go. So for example, here we have the LSP, the language server we discussed earlier, that allows you to have that as you're building. But we also have a full evaluation framework that you can use that will actually test your agent based on your expectations of the response. So you're gonna be able to provide a list of prompts that you want to test for, and you will be able to add assertion. What are your expectations of this prompt? And then you will be able to hill climb, or you will be able to improve like iteratively. You will be able to iterate on, okay, I want to improve my instructions. I want to improve my skills. I want to improve maybe the quality of my MCP server as it goes. And it's going to do the edits for you based on your steering of this. And we really believe that this is high value for anything we do there. So now that we talked a little bit about quality, let's go and see what it means when we're building. And look at that. Timing is great. We just ended our run right here. So what did it do? So first, it shred the workflow. It did fetch some content. You see it actually read the content of the declarative agent, and they're like, oh, wait a second, I need to understand a little bit more. It did edit the declarative agent, and it added the capabilities, two of the capabilities that we wanted, which is web search based. So it added the web search, it added my URLs as part of it. I don't need to know any of that. And that's the beauty here. You don't need to know how this is represented for the system. We're trying to make the system a black box, so you don't have to learn any of that. And then it added a bunch of conversation starters, which we believe are a really, really high value experience for end users. So that way they know how to use your agent and what are the type of scenarios it delivers. It also edited my instruction. So here you see how it improved the instructions. You are the wicked, wicked wizard. I love it. Like AI sometimes come up with amazing names. A gleefully funny expert on the Work IQ developer tools and so on and so forth. And then it does a bunch of things. It brought some facts. Instead of relying on stuff, it brought some facts that they're available as part of it. And I have the personality, the answer style, and so on. So all of that is based on best practices on how to write your instructions for M365. And then let me close that. Let me close this one also. Then after that, it says, okay, we're good. It even validated. So you see here, it actually validated that all of that was based on best practices and was not breaking anything. And then it told me exactly what it did. Now, what's interesting is that it did not deploy it because I didn't tell it to deploy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, I want you to deploy it and share it with my colleague Ratchet on Teams using WorkIQ. So what's going to happen here? You see how like we're not touching a button, we're not doing anything. What is happening here is it knows exactly what it means to deploy and to share. So there are commands, there are specific things that are happening. So it's going to provision into M365 Copilot, then we're going to be able to go and test it. And then after that, it's going to share it. So it's going to share the agent with that person. So now we're going to be two to be able to use that agent until I grow it and maybe provision it to my tenant, for example. And then I said something very interesting. I said, oh yeah, and share it with my colleague Ratchet on Teams. What does it mean? Well, in this case, it's going to be, oh, wait a second. I know WorkIQ. WorkIQ is a subcomponent of Wicked. And it's going to say, oh, wait, I want to send a message to Ratchet. I'm going to do it on your behalf automatically so you do not have to do any of this. So now, in a couple of seconds, it's actually connecting to this. It has been fetching who Ratchet was. It found Ratchet into my org organization. And now what it's going to do, it's going to share with him. And then we'll send a message to Ratchet directly on Teams without me having to do any of that. So we're really growing the way that we're using these tools to make them like as productive as possible to make sure that we have everything fully covered for you. So first here, it initially provisioned as a personal scope. So it was not able to share it for broader. So now we're going to create a shared scope. You're going to see that in a second. It's going to make sure that it creates everything and it's going to reprovision it. So while this happens, let me go and show you what happened with this into Copilot. So now it's talking to me. It's going to do the environment here. So that's absolutely fine. Now let me go right here. Let me go to create a new chat. Maybe I'm going to go to more agents. And now if I search for wicked, should be, oh, it did it. Let me do a full reload here just to make sure that everything worked. I do find my wicked wizard right here. Let me pin it so I don't, I'm not, I don't have to find it anymore. And now I can just ask it, what is wicked? Excellent. Explain it like I've had exactly one coffee, which is definitely not enough for me. So in this case, it's gonna go very specific. And now it did a couple of searches on the web, and what is wicked. And now you're gonna see here a bunch of the citations of the component that we have provided directly in there. Then it gives me all of that directly for me. In plain English, that means build the thing, check the thing, deploy the thing, test the thing, and monitor the thing, which is exactly what we're doing right now. So what's really powerful, here it even got me, here's the command to use it, so on and so forth. So it really went quite deep into the explanation of what Wicked was, grounded in the two sources. I didn't code anything. I sent a single prompt and I got that. So that's a great start. And imagine how this could apply to any content that you might have into into your organization. So let me go back to the agentic flow here. So now it's good. It did share with Ratchet. It just found um, um, the URL for it, and now it's creating what we call an entity. So now it's actually sending a message to Ratchet, and now it actually did that. It says that it did send it to Ratchet. So let's see how the gods of the demos could or could not work. We'll see that. Let me, it's on my second screen. Let me bring that chat directly with you. It feels like it did work. That is incredible. I'm so happy. Look at that. It did it all on its own. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can have maybe a little bit of a bigger view on this. Hey, Ratchet, I just built a deploy declarative agent for the webinar. Wicked wizard. It answers. It gave him a link directly here, and now he's good, off to the races. You can help me build that experience directly with him. So that is a really powerful scenario, I think, that I didn't have anything to do. Everything happened. Just magic, plain magic, nothing. How cool is that? Then I have an agent. It's been shared with Ratchet. I can work with him. It's available in Copilot. What else? Well, maybe quality is really low, and I don't know. So what I'm going to say, generate 5 evals for this agent, and he'll climb until we get to, let's say, 60% quality. I'm going to make it 60% quality here for one specific reason, not because I don't believe in quality, because I believe that you don't want to look at that screen for super long, because then it's going to go into a mode of, we're going to try prompts, we're going to improve the instructions, we're going to redeploy, and then we're going to do that like in loops. If you've heard of loop engineering, that's basically what it's going to do right now. So I'm going to just do 5 eval and 60%, so it goes there quite rapidly. So that way we don't really have to care about any of that. And then it's going to know about it, and it's going to do everything we need. While this happens, something that is really cool, I think, that we're providing as part of this experience is, now I've been testing it into Copilot, so you've seen this here, but we do not necessarily want you to go to Copilot for all of your tests, because Copilot is not a developer tool. And we want to make sure that you have the best experience possible while you're developing the thing, or provisioning the thing, or evaluating the thing, like we've seen in the prompt here. So how do we do that? So there's one extra thing that we have been building. Let me just move that bar away so I can actually see. We have been building something that we've kept under the curtains for a long time, which is this here. This is something called the WorkIQ Dev, or Dev UI. It allows you to talk to Copilot. So it is connected. It's not a local only experience. It runs locally on your machine and will give you a ton of high value information about your agent. Let me just reload my agent to make sure that I get all the latest and greatest from the one we just created. So let me go here, and in that case, let me do Wicked. So I should find my my Wicked Wizard right here. And now if I go here, I should see right now we might have a little bit of a bug right now on my development machine. So there might be some weird things happening, but generally the experience is this one. You would see all your prompts here, and you would say, what is Wicked? And now I can add that. And now we're going to use WorkIQ to talk with this agent. WorkIQ is an API also that I can talk, and I can say, and look at that. I got a very similar answer to what I just asked. Have everything here. I have some of those. And as a fun coincidence, I'm listed as the author of that announcement, which is awesome. So now what's really, really interesting is the value you're getting. So yes, you have the prompt and you have the answer. Great. What else? If I click on it, you're going to see here on the right that you're getting a ton of high valuable information. First, it's what are the phases that happen into Copilot? Like here you see, oh, wait a second. You did a retrieval on web search. You've had a couple of information. Now you can see all the plugins. I don't have plugins enabled for this specific agent, so I won't see anything here. But I will see the capabilities. I see I have web search I was able. I see I have the web search queries. I have the citations that came back with it. Now I can also see the full-on debug traces right from here. Why is that super useful? Because not only I can ask it through this, but I can also ask it through my terminal. I can just say, hey, Copilot, just ask this or send this prompt to Dev UI, and it's going to automatically return me all the information that I need to really understand deeply what this is all about. So that's really, really useful. If I want to show you one that I did a little bit earlier, let me try to give you this one here. So for example, earlier, I plugged in an MCP server to this agent here. And that Java Claims dashboard found 5 open claims. Those are not into my agent. Those are external to my agent, happening through a plugin call. And now if I click on this, you're going to see that my turn looks very different, where I have even like plugin call here. Then that plugin call will give me, let me grow that a little bit and zoom in just for a second. Here, my plugin call will give me all the information that came back from that actual call. And now I'm going to have all the information coming from my internal systems. So you not only see the content that gets quoted in the end, which is this one here, but you get the full raw data. So if you want to improve the quality of your agent, you have everything you need to understand what came back from the server. Was it a 200? Was it a 403? Like, is there something wrong with the way I'm connecting to an MCP server, for example? So that is the value of what the plugins will allow you here. And you're going to find here, for example, all the citations that were there, and I can go and search for it and so on and so forth. So that's really, really, really useful to use as a tool. So the only thing you have to do, you would have guessed, open my agent in Dev UI, and it's going to do everything you need to automatically open your agent in Dev UI. You don't need to think about it. There's a command for it, but you don't need to use it. So let's go back to our eval.
Seb, question for me, Seb.
Yes.
can this be used like the dev UI? Can it be used for declarative agents that are not built with Wicked? Like if I have a declarative agent, can I?
Absolutely, my friend. A good example is SME Finder is actually a public agent. It's
Mhm.
available on all tenants. And I asked who is good at A2A, and then it found a couple of people. And now I see, hey, I have all of these configured capabilities, all these 9-sided sources automatically there. I can find the manifest. I can find all the turn information. Any agent built on M365 or connected to M365, not only declarative agents, but if you're building custom engine agents, you will also be able to get some level of details. Not everything, because a lot of in CEAs, everything is happening on the server side outside of the scope of Copilot. So we don't have all of that, but we're going to give you at least what is happening, what is the answer coming back, so on and so forth.
Cool.
And that is part of Wicked. So it's part of the overall tool set that Wicked offers. Now let me go back to here. Actually, I should have come back a little bit earlier. So let me show you here. So first, it analyzed my instructions and the grounding source. And based on this, it identified, okay, so these are the things that I need to add. I want to be able to always have the install commands, what are the lifecycle phases, and so on. So it identified all of these prompts as key prompts to grow quality of the agents automatically. It added 5 new evals. It removed one because by default there's one that gets created. And now it's going to go and start hill climbing the experience. So we're going to leave it go. What I can show you is how I've done that in the past while this happens. So that claims one that I just showed you is another prompt that I used earlier, which is I want to build a new agent that will use our brand new MCP server. It's hosted here. I also want this agent to be grounded in our websites. It's here, then do it. So it started and did everything. Let me show you, and it's basically the same thing that we've done before, but now let me show you the exact same thing here. That's where I said, open this agent so I can debug it in dev UI. And then it gave me a deep link straight to my dev UI for this agent, as I said a little bit earlier. So now what I want is to show you here what it did for eval. So it went on and on. Here I went for, I think, 4 runs of 10 prompts. And it ran for a long time. It did tests. It improved. Edited the instructions. Edited some of the. And here you're going to see, like, what you must decline. Because also agents are great at doing things they're not supposed to do. So it's a great way to ground them in more information. So it added all of that based on the eval set that we wanted to do. And in the end, it ended up with, it generated 10 evals. It found 8 failures. And now we're at 6 out of 6. Everything is perfect. And now everything is all good. And now my window decided to stop. Wondering, okay, that's good. I'm back here. So I was able to do that full on climb, like hill climb, straight onto this experience. So that was like, and that's exactly what is happening right now, right here. It's doing this, and you see here, again, it did a first run. We had 40%, not good enough. So it's going on for a second run. Now, what I've been saying since the beginning is that these experiences are not just for chat. They're for all types of experiences in M365 Copilot, including co-work, so on and so forth. So what does this mean? So let me go back to my agent here. Add the Learn MCP as a connector, not in the agent, and add a tech finder skill, so I can use this as a regular plugin in my AI experiences. What's going to happen here? The Learn MCP server is the Microsoft Learn MCP server. There's one, it helps you basically navigate using natural language the entirety of Microsoft documentation. And we can also build skills, right? So skills are now, I asked to help me do some skill stuff into this agent. And now it knows about this. And there's a full plugin workflow that exists here. Now it's going to go create a plugin, test their learn MCP server, which is really interesting because actually it just knows about it, the way things are happening. It's in the model. Like I didn't provide the learn MCP server. It just knew about it. Now what it's going to do, it's going to build new components into my agent. Not to my agent, sorry, into my package that I have, which will represent that plugin that we just talked about. So now it's creating a plugin. It's called the Tech Finder. And then it's going to go on and do all of that. So I'm gonna let it go and come back to it when it's on. Let me check if my eval. Oh, look at that! It looks like it. Are we done? No, we're not done. Okay, see, here it just make sure that Ratchet keeps active. So while this runs, let me go back to my slides for a second and talk a little bit about it. When you're done with building the agent, building the plugin, adding skills, adding connectors, well, you want to be able to ship it. You want to be able to do that. So first, there are three different ways to approach this problem, depending on what is your target. The first way is publish where they are, straight into the tenant catalog. I want all my organization to have access to this. It requires an admin approval, and then it flows back to either everybody or a subset based on group membership. Then maybe you want to do the same thing, but for all the tenants in the world. Basically, you're an ISV. You're building software for multiple customers. Think about a scenarios where maybe you're building a ticket management system, and similar to ServiceNow or Jira or whatsoever, and you want to build it for everybody. Build your agent, build your MCP servers, build your skills, package it up, send it to your customers. And maybe not. Maybe what you want to do is add something where you just want to share it with a couple of folks. Maybe that is for a project. Maybe that is for a specific set of people. You can also just share it instead. And then after that, you're going to be able to grow, monitor the usage and the health from the tools you built, see what really works. So you're going to be able to use the monitor flow into Wicked to say, what are the trends? Who's using my agent? How many users are using my agent? Which agents I'm an owner of that has the highest growth or the highest usage across all my agents? You'll be able to do that. And then based on this, you can bring back these signals and re-improve your agent based on the feedback shared, the thumbs up, thumbs down, the usage, so on and so forth. Wicked is also something that is quite interesting. It's built on extensions. So it means that you can actually bring your own logic also as part of Wicked. So you build your own extension. Maybe you're integrating with your own systems and you want the system to, you want Wicked to know about your system because you're massively using it. You can use that. And then you can wire it straight into your system to make sure that it's all available through continuous integration, continuous deployment. So you can have it as part of your GitHub Actions or your ADO pipelines or whatsoever. So every time it gets reviewed, it automatically gets published and to the right admin so they can approve and then push back the right version. Why we think now is the best time to go? Everybody's asking for these extensions. Customers want to be able to take full advantage of Copilot. People want to be able to do something easily with Copilot these days. So we really believe that now is the time. The tooling is ready. We're in preview right now. It's all available to you. Go get it, install it, try it. And we believe that early wins compound. It means that if you start now, very, very soon, you're going to see the growth of this thing. So how to get started? First, aka.ms/wicked, and you're going to be able to see all of that happening there. So let me go back to my demo, making sure that things have been happening. I'm going to make yes, yes, yes. And let me go back to this. It looks like it did it. Oh, that's cool. So now you see it actually did my agent skills, then my agent connectors. It was provisioned. Well, let me show you something really, really cool now. So let me go, actually, let me go here and let me go to Cowork. Now we're changing surface. Cowork speaks plugins today. So what I can do here is I can go to customize. And now I can find my different plugins. And I should be able to find the Learn Tech Finder local that I just created. This has access to the Microsoft Learn MCP and Tech Finder, the Tech Finder skill that I just created. I can even read it if I want to. If I go back here and I go a new task and I say, help me understand everything about declarative agent, and it's 1.8 schema. I'm gonna just add it using learn, just to make sure it actually finds it. It should actually find it, but I wanted to make sure that the demo worked. So I hacked it a little bit more. What's really interesting here is that it's gonna go and literally find it, and that's gonna be quite amazing to see that. And now it did review the custom skill, it found the skill, and now it's assembling all that response back to me. Now it's using the plugin, the tools, the connectors now, the Microsoft Doc Search that it's being called. It's executing a couple of queries onto the Learn MCP server. Now it's going to assemble the final answer so it can give it back to me. In this case, I don't know if that would be the best way to use Cowork. I think that's more of a Copilot chat scenario. Like that interactiveness should be more of a chat scenario, but I wanted to show that it's all there. And now it's going to come back with an answer quite rapidly. You can actually see like all of these things. It did search, it did fetch specific ones. Now it's re-looking into specific things that were added to the 1. Because I know them, 1.8 manifest for declarative agents. And within the next, now it's going through code sample, which is interesting. I don't think it's going to find any of them, but we'll see how that plays out. And then we're going to be able to see that. So that is really, really fantastic to think that now using just a regular prompt, I was able to not only extend chat, but also directly Cowork directly there. And now you're going to see declarative agent in short. It gives me exactly what matters in 1.8. What are the things? It gives me a very simple one. What changed? These are the two things that changed. Did everything it needed to do. In this case, what are the key capabilities that we have? Important email is read search. Email actions is write and action, so they're dependent. The packaging model, it really did everything I asked for in this very simple prompt. And now I can just go back here, ask, share it with Ratchet. It's going to go share it, and then Ratchet will also have access to this thing directly in there. Now look at that. It looks like it was able to actually finish here. We now have 60% on the run number 3. My agent is now at the quality that I asked it to be. It's probably not high enough just yet, but now you have it. And what you can do now, you can just say, you know what, I'm good. Ask one or two prompts so I can see the changes, for example. Now what's going to happen is going to automatically use Wicked to send these prompts, and I'm going to be able to see it. So it knows how to ask, it knows how to bring back the data. It's going to show it to me here, and it's going to do the Wicked agent ask with a very specific question. What is Wicked? Keep it short. Go back to Copilot. Going to return the data back to me within a couple seconds, and we'll show it directly into the terminal that I'm here. So you see, that is the way we're thinking about building agents in the future. That really is, we believe, the simplest way to get there, while also the best way to drive the full quality of these agents. And then we think that you will literally fall in love with what Wicked can offer. It's all available. It's going to require you to install, download, keep it short, start using it. Go customize Copilot, go customize Coword, go customize every single tool that exists in M365 Copilot. And I would say that's pretty much it. Let's remember, what is the way to get started? aka.ms/wicked. Feel free to go onto our repo, create issues, send the feedback. We also have a Wicked feedback command that is part of the CLI. So if you want to just send feedback as part of your natural flow into your session, we're going to also receive that feedback automatically. So that was Wicked. That's how you build Wicked things with the WorkIQ Dev Tools. And I hope that was useful, that you learned a lot about how to build agents and extensions for M365 Copilot.
Yeah, that was awesome, Seb. I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So the result of this one is going to always be declarative agents. Like when you create an agent, it's going to always be a declarative agent.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're like to implement something as autonomous agent based on an email received and then launching that? What do you think? Like thoughts about this?
So there's a set of investments internally that are going to land these kind of capabilities. Today we have schedule prompts for DAs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're timer based. Definitely, that is something we're thinking deeply about, how we can make it signals based.
Yes.
I have a new agent. Well, maybe that's the signal, but I have a new email. I want to analyze the email,
Yep.
create something in a queue somewhere using an MCP server,
Mm-hmm.
and then let somebody else use it. So that is something that we're deeply interested into. That would then fall into Wicked in the way to configure that automation, basically.
Cool. Samir,
Amazing.
any questions by anyone?
No, I'm just still thinking loud, like, Sébastien, how I can use it, because the thing which I work on mostly with Copilot Studio, and I'm just thinking how I can leverage this and see what values I can bring back to Copilot Studio. I know it's completely declarative agent, and I like the place where you show like those information. It could not be only the declarative agent, it could be Copilot Studio too. So I'm going to try personally, I'm going to try this and see what things it can give me back. Yeah, but this is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. The one thing too, I think the value we see in declarative agents is when you build agents that are connected to your enterprise data. That's really where you're going to get the best of the experience, because it's grounded in your knowledge. It's grounded in your enterprise brain, which is really what the value of declarative agents are, because the data is so close to the agent that it to me it makes a ton of sense. So I'd love to see more people building using declarative agents, and I strongly believe that this is the way to build agents in Copilot, and think about how these are natively integrated and they're in the platform. They included into your license. That it's really a great way to, at least it's a great way to start building agents until it's just getting out of hands and you really need to have that like very nitty-gritty details that Copilot Studio would provide you. We strongly believe that declarative agents are the way to do AI-driven orchestration, where you leave the orchestration to the platform. You don't connect box. It's less deterministic, but the value you get is sometimes way bigger.
Definitely. This is cool.
Cool. Thank you,
Cool.
Seb. That was
You're
awesome.
welcome, folks.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll see you next week, Seb. And thanks everyone for attending. So
yeah, and please follow us on LinkedIn to stay tuned with upcoming sessions. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. Take care.